Now we should be going live.
More technical problems.
Yep, more technical problems.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like before.
Yeah, now we're live.
All right. Yeah,
Yep, now we're live.
There we go. So, all right. Yes, this is kind of. I apologize to everyone watching for the green screen. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, StreamYard is not reading the camera, so unfortunately, we've got the green screen. The green.
No, you're fine, Mike. But anybody that don't know Mike from Fishtank Barn, check out his channel. He's got a lot of information over there.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me as well.
Well, no problem.
You know what? I still wish that you did live streams because I was enjoying those.
I've thought about doing it again. I don't know. I mean, I'll have to work out a bunch of stuff, but yeah. I'll definitely. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I used to watch a lot of them.
Yeah, I really didn't participate a few years ago, but now if you were live streaming, you would probably be telling me to get out of my chat.
Yeah, it's been a few years since I've been on one, so it's been. I'm trying to think of how often it's been. I think it's been 18 months at least.
Yeah, I was going to say 18 months, 2 years, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I
think
the
a while.
One was with James that had it. Or no, Bob Kaler. I went on one of his
Oh, wow.
a while ago. So it's been a minute. So
I know I started watching you when you started building the fish barn.
yeah, that's 6. Yeah, I think it's over 6 years ago now. So
It's been a while.
Yeah,
a lot has changed in the 6 years since I started it.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it's probably I'm gonna say it's in its most final form. At this point, like I'm not gonna do any major projects on it anymore. But I mean, the only thing I might do is I might someday get rid of the bigger tank, put smaller ones in it, but we'll see. I have to find the motivation to do that.
Hear you there.
it gets harder as you get older, like us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Especially if you got to move the tanks by yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I could get some people from the fish club to come, but yeah.
Yeah, because I just screwed up and, bought 2 big tanks. So, yeah. I got to figure out where I'm going to put that.
Yeah, it all depends what you keep, right? Like, if you have the big tanks, you have to have those for like, specific fish.
Yeah.
Well, I bought this 350 I bought. It's just going to have the red morphed ovi in it that I got.
Okay.
So the 250, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet.
Yeah. So what do you guys primarily keep?
I keep a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Mine are almost all limias, gadids, like black bar antlers,
tiger teddies.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, kind of similar to what I keep then mostly live airs.
Yeah.
Got some Lake Tanganyika cichlids in the fish room, like some Tropheus, some Cyprochromis as well.
Shellies.
Shellies, yeah, there's a couple of Shellies in there too.
Yeah, I just have I have 2 species of Shellies. I've got the Maltese and the Ocelotus.
Yeah, I kept the Ocelotus before, but they were really kind of I don't know, I got bored with them.
Yeah.
They're not quite they're more territorial than the Maltese, and they don't seem to dig as much as what the Maltese do, rearrange their tank.
Yeah, and I know they eat fry and everything too. So
Oh yeah, they're bad about that. I've got some Lemias and the Zyphosphorus Milleris and Lion Zygodeids, and most of which I got from Curtis. So quite a few live bearers.
yeah, I think there's probably 17 or 18 species of Gnaeids right now in the fish room.
What's a bucket list fish you've got, Mike?
The bucket list fish that I want is something. It's the Cracodon audax from Los Pinos. It's you have like the Black Prince. It's like the Black Prince, but that location is it's got red fins instead of the black.
Is it the lateralis?
No, it's the Cracodon audax, like the Black Prince,
But it's Los Pinos.
but the location, instead of being El Toboso, which is where the Black Prince is, it's Los Pinos, and that has red fins instead of the black.
I've seen that. I'm trying to think who has that.
I say you've got the Audax, don't you, Curtis? You've got Cracodons.
I have the Audax. I don't have the other. That's the only one I have. I don't have the rest of them.
Yeah, I could have bought Lateralis at an auction, but I bailed on it. Like, it didn't have a location on it, so I was kind of like, I decided to stop at like $50. I let someone else win it.
Yeah, that's the way I am. If there's no location, I don't need it. It's just an aquarium.
It's an aquarium strain at that point, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The only ones that I would buy like that are without location is like the Iliodon furcidens, because I've never seen one with a location.
I haven't either, because I got mine from Great Sage. So
yeah, I don't think they really exist.
yeah, I think they were probably, I don't know how you'd say it. They were everywhere, like you could get them here and there and everywhere. So
not one specific location.
It was
I think they're one of the ones that's really not endangered. Most of them are that one and the Gadea atropinus.
Yeah.
Now you've got a golden teddy. I've never even seen those.
Yeah, they've been floating around here for quite a while. I've seen them for the last few years floating around in Michigan anyway.
Yeah.
So I've seen the tiger teddies, but never the golden one.
There's a golden Lee skillyfish now, if you can find it.
I've not seen that one, but yeah, like the golden. I think Dan's had the golden teddies too. He calls them a different name, but he's had those on his site now too.
I'd never seen them. But then again, you come up with a lot of fish I've never seen before anyway.
Yeah, there's some new ones too. I found one at the West Spot too that I've not seen before. So
yeah, all of those websites are dangerous for me. Or they're dangerous. Yeah. They're dangerous for my wallet.
Yeah. That and auctions and swaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of the auctions and swaps around here. Nearest one to me is almost 3 hours away.
Yeah, so where are you located?
We're both in Kansas.
Oh, okay.
I'm at one end of the state. He's on another.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've never been to Kansas.
I've never been in Michigan yet.
Yeah, I think the closest I've been was Iowa years ago.
I'm in Iowa 3 or 4 times a year. One of these times, I'm going to time a trip to my son's house as the Quad City Swap.
I've heard very good things about that. I've been tempted to go to that.
Yeah, I've seen lots of videos. And, when they say there's over 1,000 people in the first hour coming through the door, and it's packed. Yeah.
Yeah, I might. I've been tempted. Maybe sometime this year, maybe I'll go. I'll make, because I think that's like a 6, 7, 8 hour drive for me to go out there.
Yeah, it's about 10 for me, but I'm gonna pit stop at my son's house. He's about 8.5. So
There you go.
Yeah, but you were headed that way anyway.
yeah, I can hang out at his house and go to the swap, come back, come home.
We can hang out with Nona too.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, Michigan's pretty active in terms of like the fish clubs and everything. So
Yes, he's pretty dead around here.
Yeah, there's this weirdos out here in the middle of nowhere ordering crazy fish.
Yeah. From
Yeah,
one
there's-
another, Greg Sage.
yeah, I don't breed enough to sell that much though. Like and the thing with Ghanaians though too is like they get they I don't know what I was gonna say. They age out, so when they get older, they stop breeding. So
Yeah.
I very rarely will actually sell a lot of them.
Yep.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 tanks that I'll sell out of, but the rest of them, until I get like a very, very comfortable colony, I won't sell out of them.
Right.
I warn everybody, if you see adult fish at an auction, I mean the big,
Yeah,
probably don't buy them, because if you get one drop out of them, you're doing good.
yeah. I bought some recently. It's one I haven't seen in a while, and unfortunately, I'd lost my colony of. But yeah, it's gonna be. It's one that I don't have the highest hopes for.
Yeah. I see them. I try to stay away from them, but it's tempting when it's something you don't have.
Yeah, I might try them outside. I've seemed to have good luck with putting them outside.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
so
I
might-
have. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have the. Have you ever seen the Jaguar live bears?
Oh, the one-sided ones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could not breed them to save my life. And I put them out in a tub, and boom. They took right off.
yeah. It's funny because I had the Xenotoga Eisenai, and I couldn't breed it for like 3 years, and then I put them out in the tub this summer, and they bred pretty nicely for me. I've gotten quite a few babies now.
Yeah.
And now they're spawning inside.
Yeah, it's like a trigger. Once you hit the trigger,
Something triggered them, and now they're spawning.
yeah, it was the same with my trout Gadids. As I had them like in a 20 long. I tried a 20 tall. A year later, I put them in a 29 with an undergravel filter that's just a mess, and away they went. And I was watching Steampot today. I don't know if you saw his video. He's talking about breeding Corys, and you can barely even see in this tank. That's how bad it is. And he's like, I'm not touching it, because
Yeah, I had that on today. Unfortunately, I was working in the fish room today. I've been trying to clean up a bunch of tanks, so I had it on, but wasn't really watching it closely.
That one tank he had blackbeard algae on the side of it, so thick you couldn't even see in the tank.
Yeah, and just Corey's like going crazy because of the dirty tank. And I was just like, well, maybe that old dirty undergravel tank is the secret. I don't know.
Well, I mean, some of my best tanks are like the ugliest tanks in my first room when it comes to breeding fish.
Yeah. I think
Well, look at some of Eric Bodrock's tanks. They're the same way. And he breeds like crazy.
Yeah, like the nice, pretty tanks. I mean, some of them are but they're covered with like grips on the bottom, so the fry can hop. But
and then you got Greg, who barely has any substrate at all in there, and they breed up a storm.
I think he's got magic in his water, though.
You got something.
maybe it's food too. I know when I was doing the saltwater stuff, food was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, he buys his food from Jimco.
Yeah.
I've never tried any of their food.
Yeah,
And
I've been using
pallets of green
Extreme.
beans.
Yeah, I've been using the Extreme, and I've been using the new co-op foods too.
What do you think of that food, Mike?
I like it. It's very good.
Does it seem to stay in the water as long as they say?
Yeah, like the floating pellet. The video I did last week, like where I tested it. It's funny because when I tested it for like 15 minutes, and I stopped the camera. But I went back. I left it. I just left it sitting there. I didn't want to mess with it. And I came back like the next morning, and there was still a few of the pellets still floating on the top.
Dang.
So,
That's pretty freaking rare right there.
Yeah.
and then the other one that stays in for the nano feed or the small fish feed stays in the water column for quite a long time too.
Might have to give that a try.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I would highly recommend it. Like it'll sit. I've been feeding the nano feed to a lot of my fry. There's some tanks that have quite a few fry in them right now, so I've been kind of feeding those tanks specifically the nano feed. And then the the tank with the tangerine tigers in it that was in today's video, I've been feeding that tank a lot with that food as well.
That's something I have no luck with, the shrimp.
Mine's about 50-50, but I've thought about the tangerines.
Yeah, when I was at the Garden of Eden, Grant said that those were kind of like the best Caradina to try.
Yeah, because your water parameters don't have to be exact, just close.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even really close. Like mine are not Caradina water at all.
Yeah.
And they're doing fine in there. Now, I've not seen any baby shrimp yet, but I have seen them at least buried. So hopefully I'll see some soon. Kind of got my fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, and they're a good looking shrimp too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
As somebody looking to get into shrimp there at Grant and Shelby's, my God, you'd go crazy.
Yeah, that house is very impressive if you have a chance to ever visit that.
Well, they got like 400 tanks.
I think he's getting close to 500 the last time I saw something on like Facebook. But they're all small. They're mostly small tanks though. They're mostly like 10 gallons. They're not like 20s or 29.
Right. Well, they do primarily shrimp, so.
I think when I was there, he said it was 432 tanks is what he had.
Plus all the IBC totes outside.
Yeah, plus all the pool and everything else.
I wonder what their water bill is.
I don't know. That'd be interesting to. I never asked him that.
I have to ask him.
That would be oof. Crazy.
So how many are you up to now, Mike?
I actually like max. It was I think it was close to 100 max, but I'm down to like 70.
70.
That's kind of where it's going to stay, I think.
Yeah. Are they all auto water change or
everything? Other than the little fry rack that I have, yes.
Yeah.
And the only reason that's not is because I don't want to drill 5-gallon tanks and break them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 30 is plenty for me because I don't have auto water change. If I got much more than that, I would have to look.
Well, that was when I was close to 200. I mean, now I'm down to 18, so I can manage that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have that many if I was manually water changing.
It's the only way to go, really, for that many.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
like
I'm still doing it with a bucket.
Oh, hell no.
No, it's been. I was trying to think of. There's only been a couple times where I've really gravel vac the tank and done like a real old school water change.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
I use a pump and a garden hose.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to do it that way.
I mean, I did 2 today, but that's because the mold was probably 3/4 inch deep. So I got quite a bit of that out. But that's the only reason I do.
Yeah, like a lot of times I'll leave the mulm too.
Yeah.
Unless I like really have to film it, and then maybe I'll get rid of it. It depends.
I'll leave it up to a point, but then when it starts, getting
Oh, you could be like what was it? Everyday Fish Keeping. Old Dan, he had it in that one 5-gallon that was like 8 inches thick.
Wow.
no, I let mine get a half inch or so, and then I don't even get it all. I just get like about half because I still think that's good for them.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, especially if you have plants.
Oh yeah.
Like I've just been like a lot of I'll just like I've been replanting some tanks today. Like I've been kind of on a war against jungle val in my fish room because it's like all over the place. And it's become invasive. So it's been,
I know all about that. I've got a 20 tall over here that is completely taken over by jungle val.
I have one tank with jungle val and it's growing in a big old bowl. So every time it tries to come out of the bowl, that one's the one I ship to somebody.
so I've sold a bunch of it at our swaps and stuff like that, or at our auction. Like I'll put a big bag of it, like this big or so, and then I'll sell it for like $20, and so
Yeah, it's a good seller.
I mean I've made a decent amount of money selling it, but I just don't want to deal with it because our auctions are only like twice a year, so I literally will just bag up 5-6 bags of it, put it in the we have like a buy it now table at our auction, which is where all the plants go, and then you can price it, and then after a certain time the price will go down as the day goes on. So
it'll start at 20 and go to 18 and 16.
Yeah, it'll be like I think it's like 10%. I'm trying to remember. I think it's like 20% per hour. Like they'll go for like the first 3 or 4 hours, and then after that it'll start going down. But I mean, a lot of them I've sold for $20. So
nice.
But I just don't want to mess with it because then.
Yeah, I got another tank getting overrun with dwarf chainsword. My God, it's almost like if I cut it, it'd look like a lawn.
I've got that with Crips, but I don't mind that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I got a tank of Crips over here that I actually got from Curtis. It was one plant. I separated it out, and I think I got 63. And now it's probably 80 in there.
Wow.
Yeah. I gave you that poison.
Yeah, something. Because every time I look in there, there's a new one popping up somewhere.
So it looks like Jeff's got a question in the chat. He hasn't ever shipped fish. I've done it very, very, very rarely for friends. Like very rarely, meaning like twice.
Yeah.
Well, one didn't go so well, and the other one went a lot better. So,
I've had my ups and downs, and it's not on my end or the other person's end. It's on the shipping companies.
yeah, I think if I were to do it again, like I've done the post office route a couple times, I think the next time I'll do it like UPS if I'm shipping to someone.
Next day.
Yeah, overnight. It's like I don't mind like paying like the overnight shipping from either like the West Spot or Dance Fish or that's the only way to go.
Oh, that's how Greg ships it. Just next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think UPS is like the company to use.
Yeah, because I know I just got some female swordtails from New Local Austin, and they were in the mail 6 days, and they should have been here like 3 days ago. They're all alive, but
Drives you nuts when you're looking at the tracking.
yeah, well, the tracking got me. It went from, Texas to Kansas City to St. Louis, Kansas City, Missouri to St. Louis, from St. Louis to Kansas City, Kansas, and then here.
A lot of them go through Memphis because that's all their big shipping hubs. So it depends.
Yeah, they're changing the new guy. According to the postmaster I talked to down here, they've got a new guy over it, and what he's doing is he's renting out these big warehouses, and they're shipping everything to these warehouses, and kind of using it like a hub and sending things out from there, and everything's all screwed up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Because I could drive to your house in under 5 hours, but if I shipped you a box tomorrow morning, it'll be Wednesday or Thursday before it got there.
Right.
That's crazy.
Actually, no. Yeah, it'd be Wednesday or Thursday next week.
I shipped one and I didn't even think about it with the hurricane in North Carolina. You get an order, you ship it, and it was just like, yeah, that thing made it like halfway there. It made it to like West Virginia, and it just stopped for 3 days. And then it made it exactly 8 days later. It made it. I mean, they made it, but it was like 8 days. Like, yeah, USPS. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think UPS. If I were doing it again, I think I would just do UPS.
And you live in a lot bigger city, right?
Yeah, I live in Metro Detroit, so
Yeah. See, we live in a little city, so
Yep.
finally now our Staples, the office supply store,
yeah.
is a UPS shipper, so I can drop stuff off over there all the time now. So
Yeah, let me see. I'll look up on the computer real quick to see how many UPS stores are by me.
you probably have a real UPS store where we don't.
We got one drop-off point.
Yeah, literally within like very short distances, there's 3.
Yeah, and see, my son lives in Des Moines, and there's UPS stores and Amazon stores where if you order from Amazon, you can have it held at the store. You just go pick it up.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that way porch pirates don't steal all your stuff. And
Right.
it's indoors, which I don't have that here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably ship it to like a Dropbox or something.
Yeah.
I did that one time in Florida because I have a CPAP machine and I forgot the power cord to it, and we drove down to Florida, so I had to Amazon a new cord down to Florida, and there was like a little locker at the 7-Eleven like across the street from our hotel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That reminds me of a story. One of my ex-bosses, who has since retired, went to Sturgis every year.
Gotcha.
And he would UPS his clothes to the hotel, and then he would UPS the dirty clothes back, so he didn't have to carry them on his bike.
Not a bad idea.
I was just like, well, it's pretty kind of smart,
Yeah. Be carrying a bag or, duffel bag or a backpack or stuffing your saddlebag full.
Yeah, he got there and he went to the hotel and had his box there. He had his luggage. I was like, never thought of that. It's way cheaper than an airline.
Definitely. Jeff had another question. If you could only keep one family of fish or type, what would it be? Example, live bears, cichlids, etc.
Live bears, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I've done the whole cichlids and
But cichlids do really well around here, though.
yeah, see, like here where I'm at, African cichlids like peacocks, haps, and bunas, you can't give them away.
Here, people still spend money on them. They're like our auction table. Like we'll have, let's say, like 800 bags in an auction, and still about half-ish are cichlids.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, yeah. I mean, there was a guy. I mean, I remember this. The first bag at our auction this year, one of the first bags was a OB peacock, and somebody bought it for $100,
Holy cow.
which is he overpaid for it. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, by the time the auction gets over with, though, you're selling them for like $5 a bag.
Yeah. Because there's just so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, here they can't. The fish store, our local fish store, they won't even bring them in because they can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
So what do they bring in? Just guppies and swords and.
No, just the regular. You know, they do bring in cichlids, but it's usually like South and Central Americans and discus, and then live bearers, guppy. You know,
Angelfish.
yeah,
Yes, that's
a
interesting.
lot of salt water.
Yeah, see, it's interesting because the South and Central Americans here don't do well at all.
Yeah, see, the RLFS can't keep them stocked.
That's interesting.
He'll get them in. He'll get, say, Pistos and Oscars, Rams, discus, whatever. They're gone within a day.
Yeah, I can see. Pistols, I think will do okay, but like the bigger ones, like the I'm trying to think of what they even are, like geos and stuff like that.
Geos.
Yes, the geos, blue acaras, Oscars, firemouths, even red devils. They're gone within a day.
Wow. Like yeah, like it's very different. Like here, it's like I had a really nice tank for a long time of like geos, and there was a beautiful geos. That's some beautiful geos in there, but but like if I were to try to sell them, I would get barely anything for them.
Right. And we've got a guy here in his next town over, and all he breeds is peacocks, haps, and bunas. And he's overrun with them. He's having to sell them online because nobody around here wants them.
Yeah.
They're good-looking fish. I mean, he's even got like the Nairais, the tomato haps, and all them, but nobody wants them.
Yeah, they would sell. Those would sell pretty well around, like especially like the Victorian ones, like they're a little less common. Like those do pretty well.
See,
Yeah, he's got quite a few of the Victorians.
Now you got your business angle is you buy all them up and you ship them to Mike in Michigan, and he can
Right.
make money at the swap.
Yeah, I bought actually the fish I bought today. I actually bought like something I thought I would never do again, but I have a big 245-gallon tank that barely has any fish in it, so I actually bought African cichlids today.
You buy Mbuna?
No, I actually bought blue sapphires.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, I bought because I have the tank. I think has the Mbuna in it now. It has the yellow labs, but I bought a group. I bought a breeding group of star sapphires plus a whole bunch of fry. So
Those are pretty.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was only like $80, which wasn't too bad.
Jeff Pelham's trying to give you more fish in the chat.
No, we're good.
That's what everybody tells you. No thing.
No, I mean, honestly, he should take them up to the Motor City auction, and like the date's not been announced yet. But it'll probably be late February, early March. and he should take them here and sell them.
Yeah.
Because those actually will do pretty well at the auction.
He says for free.
Yeah.
He'd ship them to you too.
Yeah, they're dragon bloods. They're red zebras.
Yeah.
But yeah, it amazes me how in different areas different things sell more than others. Africans used to be real big right now. Shell dwellers, the Shelleys and like shell dwellers, Frontosa, and one other one. They sell real well around here. But
Yeah.
peacocks, haps, and boonas, they can't give them away. Tropheus is the other one.
Those do well here too. They're like the Shelleys. Like I think I sold my bags of Shelleys. I think did pretty well. I think they were like, I think I had 6 in a bag, 5 or 6 in a bag, and I think I got like 25, 30.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean the pain with those is catching them. But
Oh yeah. Do like prime time. He pulls them out and then cracks the shells on the side of the tank to get them out. But
yeah.
Tropheus sells around. They do sell around here.
Yeah, those go for pretty big money. There was a guy that had them. He gave them to me. There's some in my fish room. They're the red Melorio, and he sold a bunch of them at the auction this year. And they went for like $80. And he was like, "Oh my god, these sold for that much?" I'm like, "Yeah, like those sell for a lot of money."
I haven't had those. I haven't had Tropheus yet.
I've had pretty decent luck with them. I had one group that was kind of a pain. Like they started killing each other off until there was like 2 left. So you're supposed to kind of put them in a group, right? Because they get kind of aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But the other 2 I have been fine. Like the one group I have, the red Melorio, have been fine. And then I have one that's the Bemba, and those have been fine too. I start off with 3, which is kind of not how you want to do it. And then one of them disappeared, which is kind of what happens to fish in my fish room a lot. They just disappear because I think snails and stuff will eat them right if they pass away.
Yeah.
So the 2 bred out, and now they've bred out to, there's probably about 10, 15 of them in there. I need to do some work on the tank I have them in right now because I've not seen any fry in a while. I meant to do that today, but I need to put some more hiding spots, like holes, like rocks with holes in it and stuff there, so they have spots to hide it for the fry.
Right. Got any upcoming projects, Mike?
I've been kind of working a little bit on quieting my fish room a little bit more. I mean, one of the little secrets of my videos, I voice over all the videos, and it would be nice to do more videos in the fish room. So I've been working on quieting the fish room a little bit more. It's something I've done quite a bit before, but I'm doing some more work there as well. And I kind of talked about it earlier, like the Death of Val project is what I'm calling it, and trying to get a lot of the Vallisneria out of my fish room.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. It's an underwater duckweed.
Yeah, so there's a few tanks left. Like one of the other things I bought at the swap today is I bought some more crypts, even though I kind of don't need to, because I didn't want to start really tearing tanks apart. So I bought a bag of crypts, and I split those up and put them in different tanks. A couple of the tanks I took Val out of. So it's so that's going to be kind of like the focus, and then think other than that, that's kind of it.
Yeah, duckweed. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Curtis, you want some duckweed, don't you?
No, I got rid of mine with a shop vac.
That's the way to do it.
Right over the top. And about another 3 days, I did it again, and I did it again, and pretty soon I didn't have any.
I have a few left, but I am slowly but surely kind of winning the war on duckweed.
Yeah. It takes a while.
There's a few tanks that left that have it, but a lot of them have not. So a lot of them, I just kind of, you got to be careful not to suck up the fish.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I go through it, and I bought like a Harbor Freight El Cheapo shop vac.
That's what I did.
So if it's
And it's so loud that as soon as you get it over the top, they all go poof to the bottom anyway. So.
Yep. See, mine will come up to it because that's where the food comes in. So I'll be vacuuming, and the fish will come up, and I'll have to be careful.
Yeah.
I've been lucky. The duckweed for in my water, you put it in there in 2 days, it's brown.
Well, you're lucky.
That's not a terrible thing.
No, because I've got plants that I ordered, and they came in and had a little bit of duckweed on them, and now let's see what it does. And a couple days later, it's brown.
I actually sold some at our club president put me onto this. I had an extra tag left from the auction a couple of times ago, and he was like, "Hey, put the bag up as much duckweed as you can into I use one of those extreme containers, those little extreme jars,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it in there, and he's like, just bag it up and put $10 on it in the buy it now table, and it'll do just fine, and you'll actually sell it." And I did. I sold one. I had 3 little containers of it. I sold one for $10. One was like $4, and the other one went for $1, which was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got what, $15 for duckweed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I go out here to my big pond and get, boatloads of it.
I see it for sale. It's on eBay and everywhere.
Oh, I see it too. Regular duckweed and the big duckweed. The giant duckweed, whatever they call it. Like, nope, not for me.
Pass. So what major shows are you thinking this year, Mike?
I got to see kind of how things float because my daughter's graduating from high school this year.
Already?
2020, yep, 2025. So she graduates in May. So I got to see kind of what, so kind of see how the plans lay out for that, and kind of what happened with college and everything else.
Yeah.
But
Well, see, my grandson's graduating in January, Curtis.
Yeah. Grandson graduating. Now you're really making me feel bad.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking Keystone Clash first, and the ALA I'd want to go to. I just have to think about how I'm going to get there. If I want to fly or if I want to drive to San Antonio, Texas.
That's the main reason I was asking you, is because I'm planning on going to that. So.
Well, if you flew in, Curtis could pick you up.
Yeah, pick you up at the airport.
Yeah, I just don't know. I gotta see, because I looked at the drive and it's like a 20.
For you,
it's like a 20 and a half hour drive.
It's a wait.
So it would be a 2-day trip. I can't do that in one day. So I'd have to stop, and God knows where. That's not a drive. I've done the Florida drive a bunch of times, for family vacations and ALAs and stuff. I've done that. I mean, I-75 is literally right by my house, and I just get on it and drive it until I get off.
I think it'll be a good time though with everybody that's going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I saw that they were gonna do Charles Clapsaddle's fish room.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that. So like I do want to go. I just got to see if it works out with.
And one day, Thursday or Friday, they're going to go collecting at some river. I don't remember what river it is. That'll be fun.
Yeah, collecting's a lot of fun. I've done it a few times now, and it's a lot of fun to go do.
Yeah, you went collecting down in Florida, did you?
I did. I went. Grant took me when I went down there to speak.
But you did that at an ALA before that. I watched your video.
Yeah, I did the ALA, and then I did it by myself one time too.
Yeah.
I was trying to look for a spot, and I ended up going to this river and like near kind of because we were in Cocoa Beach, so I kind of went between Cocoa Beach and Jacksonville on this random river.
Yeah.
And there was like some guy selling wood on like the side of the road. I ended up in this little kind of like park place or whatever. It was trash. There was like people were like setting like it was like you tell that there was like a fire, like a trash fire. There was like trash everywhere, and there was like you could see like the ashes and everything from it.
Yeah.
And I just caught gambusia there, but I didn't get a fishing license because like the app wouldn't load on my phone, so I just threw them back. But
It's still fun though.
yeah, it was still fun.
Yeah, I think if I make it there, I'm going to sign up for all of it. I want to go. I want to go to Mr. Clapsdale's house. And I definitely want to go collect. I usually travel with buckets and air pumps and inverters.
That's a good place to sell live bears too, because people will pay for them, like the good ads and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to see. Like that's the thing is like if I fly, I don't want to take a bunch of fish. I can't take a bunch of fish with me. So it's kind of weighing the whole thing out.
No, but if I can make it, I can bring them with me and I can ship them to you.
That's true. Because I'd want to try to sell if I took my van down there. I think I'd want to try to sell some stuff. But that can turn into its own kind of pain in the neck too.
Yeah.
Because then if you start losing stuff, like when I went to Florida, I started losing some stuff, so I had to like change water and do all that stuff down there.
Yeah. And you gotta have a way to change water. You gotta remember to take your dechlorinator, to take some kind of an air system.
Yeah, like I had them bagged, and I just had to keep rebagging them, which was kind of a pain.
Yeah.
And I might try to do the fish show again too.
The fish show. Which one?
Yeah, they do like the where you show your fish.
Oh, down there.
Yeah, I did that in Florida. I didn't do very well, and then I did it in Michigan. I actually did pretty decent. So,
Are you going to take cichlids or something else?
No, it was just live bears, but you can take like swords and there's different classes. I think there's like 20 or 25 different classes.
Yeah.
And so you can put there's different G'day types you can add and everything else. So I did a bunch when it was in Kalamazoo, which is 2 hours from me, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I even took my own water to that, which I think worked out well. I just put
some 5-gallon jugs.
Yeah, and I got like I got like an actual. I kept the lid, not the really expensive like screw-on lids, but the
that snap-on.
The snap-on ones, and that worked out okay. I mean, it was a pain, but it was fun to it was fun to do that.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. I drive a 4Runner, and every time my wife gets in, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You got a cooler, you got 3 buckets, you got cords sticking out," and it was like, "You never know, you never know."
3 buckets. I think when you came here, you had like 9 buckets.
Oh yeah, that was a specific trip.
Right.
Yeah, I don't travel with it a lot, but if I go, I have like a bag, and I gotta get it out of my car actually. But I have like a crash bag that has some fish bags, dechlorinator, and I think that's about it. And then like some rubber bands, and I think I've got like one of the critter the containers in there. The
critter keeper.
Yeah, that's not a critter keeper, but it's the one you use in like the fish store. I forgot the name of it, but the one you get like that hangs on the tank. Got one of those in there.
Oh, the specimen container.
The specimen container, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I've got one of those too, and that just kind of comes with me to like. And if I go to like our auction, I'll put it in my van and kind of just leave it in there unless I need it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we've been on about an hour. I say we call her a night.
Okay. Yeah,
Unless
sorry
you
about
guys
the
want to go longer.
Yeah, I mean, I can go till about 10 if you guys want to go longer.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
We can go as long as we need to.
Okay. Yeah, like I think I got to work tomorrow and whatever. So.
Yeah, Curtis does too.
Yeah.
So like 10 o'clock's kind of my. But yeah, so I keep the little critter keeper in or the little my little crash bag I call it in my van. Kind of just use that if I need to.
Yeah, I need to get another inverter because my wife stole mine.
What'd she steal yours for?
Because she went to Iowa a couple weeks ago and she took it, and I'll never get it back, just like everything else. So, but it had 4 USB plugs and 220 volt plugs, so you could plug pumps, whatever, into. Works super slick in your vehicle.
You could try the co-op pumps too. That have the batteries if you just keep them charged.
Yeah.
Try those too. You wouldn't need the inverter.
Yeah, I've never had one of those.
I've had battery operated pumps, but I haven't had the co-op ones.
Yeah, I use those in my pond this year, and or my tubs because I have the big ones for the fish room, but
yeah,
I used it for the summer tubs this year. It worked out really well.
And they're just USB, right?
Yeah, they're USB. I had a cord running across my yard but yeah, like if I forgot to plug the cord back in when I cut the grass, like they ran for quite a long time. They run for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
And you can set them up so that they don't run continuously. They can go on and off. And they'll last a little bit longer too.
Yeah, I need to add those to my kit. Because when I put my tubs outside, I have outlets out there.
Gotcha.
So I can run tubs with pumps,
Yeah, where I kind of put them in the yard, I don't have an outlet anywhere near there, so I have to run a extension cord from the garage.
Yeah, I didn't have one. I'm surprised. You guys ever had the city appraiser come to your house?
Oh yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
I had it for water. We had a survey, and I had to put on a thing called the vacuum breaker. It was like $90. It wasn't hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just do a little bit of plumbing to it, but
Yeah.
it actually ended up breaking, and the guy, it ended up breaking. And actually, after I talked to the guy and told him about my setup, he was like, "You probably don't even need this," but I did it anyway. But then we had a really cold winter storm a couple years ago, and the thing actually broke. It like froze and like it was spraying water everywhere.
Yeah,
So I undid it and just put a straight connection on it now.
yeah, yeah. This this lady's standing out on my patio, and she has her tablet that has a drawing of my yard where the shed is and everything, right?
Yeah,
Fence. She never says a word about my pond that between us and the internet, I never got a permit for.
yeah.
And the outlets I put out there that I wired up, she just like, oh yeah, it all looks good. I'll see you later. And it was like, see ya.
That's how they do here.
Yeah,
We don't have an actual certified electrician for the city. So he'll just and when they do an inspection on a house before they put the meter in, they just come in and make sure you got GFIs near any water location.
yeah. Well,
If you got those, you're good.
I live in a small city, but you live in a way smaller city.
Yeah, we only have a population now of about 100.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. But it's nice.
And getting smaller every day.
Mike is nice and quiet where he lives.
Oh, it's suburbia basically.
Yeah,
The city I live in though is kind of weird. It's very there's a lot of companies located here as well.
yeah.
So there's not a ton of like residents in the actual suburb I live in. So
Yeah, it's real quiet where I'm at.
Yeah. I mean, I was 5 minutes from your house and I was on a dirt road.
Mm-hmm.
so
It's that way all the way around.
so the city I live in has, according to this, has a population of 26,004 people.
Yeah, that's about what I live in.
Yes, yeah. Mine's a population of about 100.
But then there's like all kinds of other suburbs around it that are bigger, smaller, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I say we're a one-horse town, we're literally, one-horse town.
Yeah, I grew up in a town that had about 4,000 people. So
But one thing we have in this town is that we're starting to get known for is my neighbor just up the road. His son is the world rodeo champ right now, 2 years in a row.
Oh yeah. For what?
Yeah.
Bull riding or what?
No, for
Bareback.
cattle roping and something else. But 2 years in a row, he's been doing it since he's 16. He's 19 now. They just built that $3 million climate controlled indoor rodeo up there too. So
Yeah,
the one that lives up the hill from me.
I'm too old and too smart for that crap.
Yeah. I told him he wanted to get into riding bulls, and I said, "Boy, you start doing that. By the time you're 25, you'll be lucky if you can walk."
Or be dead.
yeah, that's a tough deal.
Yeah.
But he loves doing it. Him and his little sister.
Yeah, heck with that. I'll stick with my fish.
Me too.
Most of
Yeah.
them.
His sister does barrel race. His sister does the barrel racing. So
I think that's a little saner than the bull riding.
yeah.
Yeah, and you're on a very, very well trained horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the horses can still do the bad things to you, but
Not like a bull.
you're
Yeah.
Bulls can get pretty violent.
I'll continue to eat the cows instead of ride the cows.
yeah, for sure. So that sort of thing is not really common around here at all. There is though about 3 miles from me. There is a horse stable basically, kind of in the middle of the city. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of like it's kind of in a really uppity area of kind of a Metro Detroit, and like it's like a couple miles away. Like the area I live in is kind of weird. It's kind of this little pocket of normal amongst all these other places, and it's called like this. It's called like an open hunt. So I don't know, but it's like there's like a bunch of horses right off of one of the main roads of Metro Detroit. It's kind of interesting.
That's kind of like going to Graceland in the middle of Memphis, Tennessee, and all of a sudden Elvis's house has this huge ass pasture behind it in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Also, it's like this, like it's kind of, you can tell it's kind of like a country club theme to it. You can see the tennis courts and pool and all the other stuff. If you go like around the other side of it, but yeah, there's just horses. You know, you'll see them. I'll drive to get my bagel, you know, on the weekend, and you'll see the horses, you know, in their little pens or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think they keep them inside at night, especially when it gets cold. But
Oh yeah, they do. They do here.
Might be a little chilly in Detroit.
it wasn't bad today, but we had a pretty cold spell just recently. Like it was kind of the weather here seems to change like on a day on like it seems to flip seasons very quickly. There's no like gradual decline. Like we were kind of like in the high 40s, mid 50s, and then all of a sudden it was like 25 to 30 degrees, and then the snow came.
Yeah.
That sounds almost like here.
And then today, it was like 50 again. So it's been kind of weird.
Today it was 34 and misting rain. Yesterday it was 60.
Yeah, the computer said that supposedly we're going to get another inch of snow on Wednesday, but we'll see.
Well, at least you didn't get what Pennsylvania and everybody got the other day.
We got enough that you had to like kind of drag the shovel out, but not anything like horrendous.
Yeah, it wasn't get the Bobcat running.
Yeah, that's what gets fun in the winter is that with that building is it's, you know, I've got to like, you know, because it's a good probably about 50 feet from the back door of the house. So then when the snow comes, I've got to dig my way, you know, out there.
Or a snowblower would come in handy.
Yeah, I actually did that this year. I bought one of those Ryobi like shovels, like the little snowblower thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I bought one of those, and I actually used it the other day finally for the first time. It was barely enough to use it on, but I wanted to play with it, so it worked pretty well for what it was.
So do you heat that building with gas or electricity or?
I heat it with electric, which is not really the right way to do it because it's expensive.
Yeah.
But I only heat it with a 1500 watt little Stibel Ultron heater. It's not like this big, huge monster garage heater or anything.
Yeah.
It does get kind of cold in the winter a little bit. I think the fish get down in like the high 60s if I don't heat their individual tank. But I kind of, between all the other stuff putting out heat in that building, like, you know, the lights and the equipment and the dehumidifiers and all the other stuff, it stays pretty decent in there. Like it's gotten down to like -10 and it's been okay.
Well, you got all that heat and the water retention too.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's between all of that, it's worked okay. Now I took down a bigger tank this year, so I was a little worried that, you know, because of the water retention that it won't be as good, but so far it's been fine.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about dehumidifiers. If you have one on each floor, or you got 4 or 3, or
it depends on the season. This took a lot of learning to get to, and I'm sure it's not perfect. I know it's not perfect, but so it doesn't rain in there basically.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, I run 2 dehumidifiers, one in the basement or one in the bottom, one in the top. And then in the summer, I run a dehumidifier on the bottom, but I run an air conditioner on the top. I found one of those wall unit air conditioners on a garage sale. I think it's like normally like not a wall unit, but it's like a stand up one with wheels on it.
Yeah.
And there's like an outlet to it. And so I found that at this garage sale like around my house. I think it's normally like a $400 air conditioner. I paid like $100 for it, and that's what I use to kind of cool the barn down in the summer. Like I think the fish would be fine. Like I don't think the fish would be that bothered by it, but I go in there quite a bit, and I think I would be bothered by it being that hot in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like this time of year actually is kind of like the best time to like go and do work in there because it's not too muggy and it's not too, the humidity isn't too bad in there. When you get in the summer, it gets a little hot and a little unpleasant in there, but
Oh, I bet.
it's not unbearable. Like if you didn't run the dehumidifiers and the air conditioner, it would be unbearable. Like I set the air conditioner to like 78.
Yeah,
Like I don't set it to like 70 or something.
Wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, like I mean, I've thought about trying to maybe do like propane out there to heat it in the winter, but I mean, I even bought I bought 2 years ago. They were on sale at Lowe's actually. I bought 2 like 40-gallon propane tanks that they're in my garage, and I was gonna play with doing like a propane heater in there, but I never did it. That's something I may think about here in the future.
You could do a couple of the vent-free heaters out there, and
Yeah. Yeah, do like one of those, and like I'd have to do some testing to see like how long it lasts and all that kind of
right.
stuff. Like I don't want to go like every week to go fill propane. That's a pain in the neck.
Yeah. Sometimes you can find them 100-pound bottles on like Marketplace dirt cheap, and a vent-free heater on one of them will run for, my God, a couple months.
Yeah, like I got the 240s, like so that's not bad, but yeah, it's it's kind of weird. Like like you said, it gets seasonal. Like kind of like like right now it's not too bad, temperature wise. But then you get into like January, February, part of March, it gets kind of a little unpleasant, and then you kind of get the opposite in the summer months, like June, July.
Right.
Like if it just stayed like 65 degrees here all the time, it'd be perfect.
There you go.
Yeah. That it would. Like I know when I heated my big fish room I had out there, which was my garage, we had a window unit, big air conditioner, but it was also a heater. You could flip it and it'd be an air conditioner, and you go the other way and it'd turn into a big window heater. And that's what we used out there, and it worked all right. That's not even insulated.
Yeah, I insulated it fairly decently. Like I think if I were to do it over again, I would have probably spray foamed the whole thing. That's kind of
the
what
way to go.
Yeah, kind of. I remember when Dan did. I don't know if you guys remember when Dan had it in his house still. Like
Yeah,
he foamed the whole thing. Like I would have done that.
Yeah, doing spray foam, it fills any cracks and everything.
Yeah, you can buy it if you go to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. You can buy like a home spray foam kit. It's like something that looks like a Home Depot container. I've never used it, but I've thought about doing that before, but I've not.
I've thought about having doing my floors.
Yeah, I would. The one thing I would say though is do not get like the normal insulation because that just gets waterlogged and turns.
Yeah. Yeah, they have some for wet areas.
Yeah, so I use the closed cell stuff, and that's worked out pretty well. I think it's like R19. I think it is. And that's not been bad.
Something similar to that. I think that's what they put in my brother's garage. I think it was as big as that thing, you could almost heat it with a match.
With a match. So it's a shed.
Yeah. And it's what, 40 by 60, I think.
That's not a shed. Come on, dude.
It's slowly turning into his damn fish room. Half of it is, anyway.
Yeah.
Got that 4 foot by 4 foot by 3 foot cube in there, dead center in the middle of his man cave area. And he's starting to slowly work in around it. I think I may just set that 350 up over there.
That cube was pretty close to what I had for my saltwater tank, and I actually spent like yesterday for like 2 hours binge watching saltwater, and I had to turn around and be like, "Don't do it, don't do it."
No. It's funny because I started. I don't know if you guys know this, but I started in saltwater. Like I did saltwater for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Before I did YouTube or you guys said you watched in the beginning, so you saw the clownfish tanks and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I watch you breed them.
Yeah, like so I did that for a while, for a good long time before before I ever did the freshwater stuff. And then it's sort of like I was involved in kind of an organization that kind of helped promote breeding marine fish. And then that sort of fizzled out for various, the pandemic and whatever. And so my fish keeping kind of switched to all freshwater at that point.
Yeah, weren't you doing like a show with Ed and James too on doing saltwater?
We did, yes. We did like a very basic, like not hardcore, like, but how to basically kind of set up a saltwater tank. And it was funny. We actually had a speaker at our club. It's a guy that I've known for years. Do like hey, how to breed saltwater fish, and I was like, he was kind of part of the the thing that we were working on at the time.
Right.
But yeah, so it was kind of fun to kind of go like, oh yeah, I remember all this stuff of like making, raising rotifers and doing all that kind of stuff. And it was funny though, that talk actually spawned me to kind of like play with some live foods again. Like I bought some Daphnia at our last auction, and I've been kind of playing with that. It's super easy, but I've managed to to keep it alive now for about 5 or 6 weeks now. So
yeah,
I mean it's not hard, but it's just remembering I almost crashed it though. I forgot to feed it the other day.
Yeah, I actually feed mine twice a day.
Yeah, it's been clearing up now. It's just funny, like you can tell like there's more in there. Probably gotta harvest some. But like it's been clearing up pretty quick once I feed them. So
yeah,
like I woke up like that morning, like, oh crap, I didn't feed the Daphnia when I fed the fish. So I need to get I think I need to put a bigger container in there for them because I have the 5-gallon buckets, and they've been working okay. But I think I have a bigger container. There's a guy that I knew that he works at Pepsi, or he worked at Pepsi, and he gave me a couple of like the food grade, white containers.
I'll be back, guys.
Yeah.
So so I kind of rigged those out. I have a couple of those, and I could use one of those for
that. I think it's awesome food though, because there's no preparation to it like brine shrimp.
Yeah, you just den them out and put them in.
If you keep them fed, you just put it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been getting some of like the old shells in it though, which like the fish don't like those, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's been but yeah, it was actually surprisingly easy. Like I was like, I'll look up how to do it. I mean, that's kind of one of the things I wanted to do with that. But kind of thinking a lot about the channel too. Kind of like, I've been doing YouTube now for 5 or 6 years. Like I'm trying to think of other ideas to do. Kind of stuff that sort of can kind of live forever on the channel. And that's one thing I've not done a lot of is like the live food stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how you do Daphne and how you do brine shrimp and how you do whatever.
Vinegar eels and worms and
Yeah.
And my schedule's kind of changed. My daughter played a lot of volleyball. So she for the last 4 years. So that's one of the reasons I haven't streamed or anything is like I never had a consistent day where I could do it. And so it was one of those things that sort of, died out. Like I said, I've thought about doing it again. I don't know if I will or not, but that's kind of one of the things I've been kind of noodling around with recently.
Yeah, I've been down the same road my son wrestled since he was 6. And he's probably wrestled in like 40 out of the 50 states and a couple of countries. So we would get a new car about every 2 years because it had like 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah, she wasn't that serious. I mean, we would just go, like Ohio to like I think we played like one tournament in Indiana, a couple in Ohio, and most of them were within a couple of hours of here, so it wasn't too bad.
But you're still traveling. It's still 2 or 3 times a week. It's camps in the summer.
Yeah, and then you do the school, and the school's got its own,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been down that road.
Yeah, so that ended in the fall, so.
So what's she going to go to college for? Does she know?
Right now she's thinking about nursing. It's kind of changed through the past couple of years. At one point it was interior design. So I'm not really sure yet what it's going to be. We're kind of waiting on the last school to let her know. She's gotten into the three of the 4 that she's applied to already. The last one, University of Michigan, doesn't tell you until like the end of January.
Yeah, till like August.
Yeah. So she's got into the 3 of the 4. Michigan, like where I went to Michigan, so my alma mater, she's applied there, and they don't let you know till like the end of January. So we'll see how that works out.
Nice.
And then if she doesn't get into Michigan, I think she wants to do Michigan, and if she doesn't get into Michigan, then it's gonna be kind of like, it's gonna be a harder decision, I think, because she doesn't really know between the other 3 that she's gotten accepted to which one she wants to go to. One of them's the rival school to Michigan in the Big Ten, and then the other 2, one of them's in Ohio, and the other one's a smaller liberal arts college about a couple hours northwest of here.
We won't talk about other Michigan.
Yeah.
No, I mean, actually, it's funny though you say that because like I grew, Jeff is, I don't know if Jeff is still in here, but I grew up near Lansing, and I was actually a Michigan State fan until I ended up having my college paid for by them, a scholarship, and going to the University of Michigan. So, so I'm kind of a fair weather Michigan fan. Though I did thoroughly enjoy last weekend. That was rather unexpected, but I didn't even watch it. Like, I'm not going to watch Ohio State's coronation. Like, I wasn't going to watch it, right? And I was doing work in the fish barn or whatever, and I pulled my phone up to see what the score was, thinking it was going to be like 27-0 or something like that. And it was like tied, so I'm like, you know what, I better come in and watch it. Maybe this is going to end up being good, and it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. But yeah, so I'm actually a pretty fair weather Michigan fan, considering I went there. Like, and like I said, I grew up a Michigan State fan, and actually, like the Mark D'Antonio years of Michigan State were actually kind of fun to watch. So, And you never know, my daughter will, might go to Michigan State. So
It's possible.
yeah, and my mom worked at Michigan State. So it's there's, I'm not a huge like Michigan State hater per se.
I don't hate on any of them. I just like to have a good time. You know,
I do
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like, not,
if they're
it's not really
rivalry,
the only one that I'll say that I kind of have a distaste for a little bit is Ohio State, just because of stuff I've heard. Not that Michigan fans are perfect either, because there's bad Michigan fans too. Like,
yeah,
but like, I had a guy who was a buddy of mine who was in the Michigan marching band, and he was telling us stories about people would throw coins at him and all kinds of other stuff, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But I'm sure there's Michigan fans who do crap like that too. So it's not like Michigan's perfect either.
I don't think there's any of them teams that are.
And I think Ohio State fan takes it a little bit personal. Like, I think like to an extreme.
Yeah. That's kind of like our PSU ones here.
Yeah, they just sort of, and I think, I don't know. Like, I think this area has kind of been weird for football because the Lions have been terrible for so long that I think now it's big, obviously, because they're winning.
yeah.
But for like the longest time, the college I think got more attention because the Lions were just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Chiefs here.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a lot bigger now because obviously they're good for the first time in like 75 years. But
Yep.
I mean, it's funny. Like my dad is 74, and the last time that the Lions won an NFL championship, he was 8 years old.
Holy crap! Was that an
Yeah, I think it was
AFL?
1958 was the last time the Lions won the NFL or whatever.
Holy crap. Oh, man.
Yeah. So people have lived and died their entire lifetimes without ever seeing the Lions go to a Super Bowl.
It's almost that way with Chiefs around here till lately.
Yeah. Well, then the Chiefs have been good for a while now, though.
Yeah, they're decent.
Till here lately.
I don't know about this year. We'll see.
They've had a lot of help this year.
I'm kind of stuck in the middle because I'm 6 hours from Denver, and I'm 6 hours from Kansas City. I'm 8 hours from Dallas. So I don't know. I root
They've
for my
had a lot.
I root for my high
Chiefs.
school.
Yeah.
I root for my high school.
Well, it's weird though because if you get like in Michigan, if you get further west, if you get far enough west, you start running into some Chicago loyalty.
Chicago Bears, yeah.
Yeah, like Bears or Cubs or Blackhawks or whoever, right? Because a lot of those cities, like in the west part of Michigan, are closer to Chicago than they are to Detroit.
Yeah.
So like if you're in like Grand Rapids, you're kind of the same distance. Maybe a little further to Chicago, but not much. So
I think it's that way everywhere because the guy that I work with every day, he's a New England Patriot fan, and I always call him. No, I call him bandwagon. That's what I call him.
yeah,
We call him bandwagon for 15 years. Because we know why he jumped on the Patriots wagon because of Tom Brady. So
yep.
Yeah.
I think I was in college when Tom Brady was there. He was in the beginning of it when I left, but I think he was on the team like the last year maybe that I was there. But
there's quite a few of them are bandwagons around here.
yeah,
My neighbor across the street's been a big Steelers fan for a long time, and now he's a big Chiefs fan.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I'm a bandwagon Lions fan. I mean, I'm like, I would watch it for the first few weeks and then realize that they sucked like they normally did. And then I would like do something else on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's time to go to the apple orchard or do something else.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. America's team. We lost who's America's team.
Yep.
It's not the Cowboys anymore, that's for sure. If you want to watch some Cowboys playoff victories, come by. I got a VCR.
Watching back when they used to play the Steelers in the Super Bowl all the time.
Yeah. Terry Bradshaw does have a point when he's like, I won 4. I didn't have a headset in my helmet. I called all my own plays. There were no roughing the passers, none of that crap going on back then. And I won 4. And I was like, yeah, he's right. I watched him.
And them guys used to actually get hit.
Yeah. Well, and the defense hit people and got hit. So
yeah, I think there's a lot with the concussions and like they want, what if it's a business, right? You want to protect your asset to, you don't want, say for the Chiefs, right? You don't want to watch whoever the backup is for Patrick Mahomes. You want to watch Patrick Mahomes go out and play.
Yeah.
And if you have a guy lighting them up all the time, you're not going to have, he gets hurt, then you're not going to have your asset on the field, and no one's going to want to watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Same thing happened to Trevor Lawrence a week ago.
Yeah, he got
that was brutal.
Yeah. So
yeah. He's the name of that team, and now he's out for what, 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah,
they creamed him pretty good, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the guy got suspended, didn't he?
Yeah, he got suspended for 3 games.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a straight on headshot.
Oh.
I think he was leaning back and he just got smoked. Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to slide and got a shot to the head, and then he did one of these, like laying on the ground like he was having a seizure.
Yeah.
It was not a pretty sight.
No.
Yeah, those kind of hits don't belong, but some of the other ones do. I think some of the other ones do.
I remember watching them guys get hit so hard they'd be spinning around in the air. The damn helmets would come off. And, oof.
Yeah.
Whereas hockey used to be just as bad, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still enjoy some good hockey, though.
I do, too, once in a while. It's not as brutal as it used to be.
Well, Mike's up there where you can go watch real hockey players, and we're not.
Right.
Yeah, the Wings haven't been good in a long time, though. They've been kind of... Like, it was fun back when you had, like, Yzerman and Fedorov, and you had, like, that sort of, the old school, Red Wings. But they've been kind of... Since, like, the mid-2000s, they've been kind of not that great. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun, like when you had the Avalanche rivalry with the Red Wings and like, Darren McCarty, like, fighting Claude Lemieux and that kind of stuff. That was fun.
Fighting Claude Lemieux. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of Wings have kind of fallen on kind of deaf ears, and the Pistons are kind of, they had their moment of fun too, and now they're kind of the same boat. Actually, I think a little worse than the Wings.
Yeah, most of them teams do.
So I'm starting to kind of run out of gas a little bit. I don't know if you guys want to like wrap it up or not. But
if you need to go, that's fine, Mike. We can go ahead.
Getting a little late for me. I'm starting to kind of ramble a little.
Yeah, we can go ahead and shut her down. That's no big deal.
No, but thank you guys for having me on, and I apologize about the green screen behind me.
Oh, no big deal, Mike. I'll definitely have to have you up again.
For sure. It was fun.
I really appreciate you coming on. I want to thank everybody for coming in.
Yeah, for
Curtis.
sure. Everyone. Yep. Thank you, Curtis. I know you've commented for a very long time on the channel, so definitely, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
I enjoy your channel a lot.
Thanks.
I do too.
Thanks.
Anyway, we'll see y'all next week.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Thank you.
See you.